Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. NBA, college basketball, soccer, Olympics, golf. On this day, news and notes, best bet. We'll actually begin with the NBA. The league returns to action tonight after a week off on the All-Star break. We have 10 games. First up, 7 o'clock, Rockets Hornets. My line is the Rockets by 7 total 226 and 17/20ths. And it is 4.5, 218.5. I am going to take the over. That's low. Nets, Cavs. My line's Cavs 18.5 total 229 and a quarter. And it is 15.5, 229.5. I'm going to lay the 15.5 with Cleveland. Hawks Sixers. My line is the Sixers 1 1/4 total 234, and it's 1.5, 239.5. I'll take the under. No Embiid. Pacers Wizards. My line is the Wizards 2.5 total 232, and it is the Pacers 2.5 total 232.5. I'm going to take the Wiz plus 2.5 and plus 108 because of no Siakam. 7:30 Prime Video. Game of the night in the association. Pistons Knicks. Mine's the Knicks 2.5 total 228 and 13/20ths, and it is 3.5 and 219.5. I'm gonna go with the over. I think that's a low total, even though the Pistons are missing some guys because of the brawl. 8 o'clock Raptors Bulls. My line is the Raptors by 3 total 231 3/4, and it's 6.5, 233.5. I'm gonna take the Bulls getting 3.5 or 6.5. I don't know where 3.5 came from. 8:30 Suns Spurs. My line is the Spurs 10 3/8, so 227 and 9/10, and it's 7.5 and 229.5. I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the Spurs. 10 o'clock on Prime Video. Celtics Warriors. I have Celtics 5 3/4, so 225 and 3/5, and it's 5.5 to 11.5. That's low. I'm taking the over, even though Curry's out. Magic Kings. My line is the Magic 14 and an 8 total 230.5. And it's 8.5 and 225.5. I'm going to lay 8.5 with Orlando. And last but not least, 10:30 Nuggets Clippers. I have the Nuggets 1 3/8 total 230 and 9/20ths, and it's 4.5 and 226.5. That's a difficult one to peg. But I'm going to go with the over. Okay, now we'll move on to college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. No totals. I just did totals in the NBA. Maybe tomorrow I'll do totals in college basketball since the slate is a little smaller. Rutgers over Penn State 85-72. Lafayette over Holy Cross 86-83. Wofford over VMI 82-76. Butler over Georgia 93-89. Youngstown State over Cleveland State 106-82. ETSU over Furman 78-69. Creighton upsets number 5 UConn 91-84 in stores. Game of the night, number 25 Alabama over number 20 Arkansas 117-115 in double overtime. That's literally an NBA score right there. Northern Iowa over Indiana State 81-60. Valpo over Bradley 79-72. American over Bucknell 75-57. St. Joe's over St. Bonaventure, 71-65. Fordham over Loyola Chicago, 62-59. Duquesne over LaSalle, 62-61. Dayton over George Mason, 82-67. Davidson over Richmond, 65-63. Wichita State over East Carolina, 92-89 in double OT. UAB over Temple, 76-71. Wake over Clemson, 85-77. Army over Loyola Maryland, 87-77. Navy over Lehigh, 72-49. Northern Kentucky over Purdue Fort Wayne, 87-71. Western Carolina over UNC Greensboro, 91-77. James Madison over Coastal, 67-65. Texas A&M over Ole Miss, 80-77. Tennessee over Oklahoma, 89-66. Eastern Kentucky over West Georgia, 81-80 in OT. FGCU over Jacksonville, 86-84. Queens over North Alabama, 85-78. WKU over Delaware, 88-87 in OT. Southern Illinois over Drake, 66-61. Troy over Yale Monroe, 77-76. Lipscomb over Bellarmine, 75-72. Sam Houston over Middle Tennessee, 78-70. La Tech over Jacksonville State, 77-71. NC State over NC Central 85-72. UIC over Evansville 84-46. FAU over UTSA 60-52. Tulsa over Charlotte 79-74. Northwestern over Maryland 78-74. DePaul over Seton Hall 69-57. Omaha over Earl Roberts 80-71. North Dakota State over South Dakota State 74-66. So best bet won. Kennesaw State over Missouri State 91-87. Utah over West Virginia 61-56. Number 4 Arizona over number 23 BYU 75-68. Number 8 Kansas over Oklahoma State 81-69. Number 14 Virginia over Georgia Tech 94-68. Number 17 St. John's over Marquette 76-70. Missouri upsets number 19 Vanderbilt 81-80. Illinois State over Murray State 78-61. St. Mary's over Seattle 72-70. Miss State over Auburn 91-85. Wazoo over Pacific 87-70. Number 10 Illinois over USC 101-65. Pepperdine over Portland 95-87. Utah State over Boise State 75-56. Number 11 Gonzaga over San Francisco 80-59. And Colorado State over UNLV 91-86. All right, tonight 6 o'clock Vermont UMBC. I have UMBC by 3. And it is Vermont 1F, total 140F. I'll take UMBC plus 1F and plus 106. New Hampshire, UMass Lowell. I have Lowell 5 3/4. It's 4.5, 149F. I'll take the over. Binghamton, Bryant. I have Bryant 5 3/4. And it's 6.5 and 135.5. I'll take the over. CBS Sports Network FIU Liberty. Mine's Liberty 11F, total 152.5. And my line's 15.8, so I'm going to lay 11.5 with Liberty. 6:30 SC Upstate Winthrop. I have Winthrop by 13, and it's 13F, 155.5. I'll take the over. Marshall, App State. I have App State by a half. And it's 3.5, 143.5. I'll take Marshall in the points. ESPN2, Memphis, South Florida. I have USF 6.9. And it's 8.5 and 162.5. I'm going to take the under. Alabama State, Bethune. I have Bethune by 9. Why are not... These are not all the lines. This is so weird. I don't understand why all the lines aren't on here on FanDuel. DraftKings has them. Five and a half and 146.5. I'm going to lay a 5.5 with Bethune-Cookman. ESPN UNC Asheville High Point. I have High Point 11.6, and it is 14.5 and 152.5. I'm going to take UNC Asheville in the points. Longwood Presbyterian. My line is Presbyterian 2.1. And it is 2.5, 139.5. I will take the over. Next is Gardner-Webb Bradford. I have Bradford 13.9, and it's 19F and 162.5. I'll take Gardner-Webb in the points. Iowa-Indy Wright State. I have Wright State 14.5. 12.5, 161F. I'll lay the points. Wagner Mercyhurst. I have Mercyhurst 8.2. And it's 5.5 and 133.5. I'll lay with Mercyhurst. A lot of favorites I like, which is weird. Stonehill, New Haven. I have New Haven by 2. And it's 2.5, 121.5. That's one of the lowest totals in the college game I've ever seen. And I thought they made all the ones for Virginia low. This was very low. I love the over in that one. LIU St. Francis. If I have LIU by 9 and it's 9.5, 147.5, I'll go over as well. Lemoyne Central Connecticut. My line is Central 6.5. And it is Central 3.5, total 145.5. I'll lay the points with Central. Next, Fairleigh Dickinson, Chicago State. I have Fairleigh Dickinson 1 3/4, and it is 2.5, 133.5. I'll take the over. Albany NJIT. I have NJIT 6.5. It's 4.5, 122.5. I'll lay it. Monmouth UNC Wilmington. I have Wilmington 16.7. It's only 6.5. That's crazy. Total 144.5. I'll lay the 6.5 with UNC Wilmington. I mean, that would have been in consideration for best bet had I not been in New Jersey right now. Drexel Northeastern. I have Drexel 0.5, and it is 1.5 and 144.5. I will go over. William & Mary Campbell. I have William & Mary 1 3/4. 1.5, 116.5 under. That's too high. Charleston NCAT. I have Charleston by 7. And it is 4.5 and 146.5. I'll lay the 4.5 with Charleston. Sanford the Citadel. My line is Sanford 4.3. And it is 10.5 and 141.5. I'm going to take the Citadel getting the points. Chattanooga Mercer. I have Mercer 6.1. And it's 10.5 and 151.5. I'll take Chattanooga getting the points. Austin P. North Florida. I have Austin P by 13. It's 11.5, 164.5 under. 8 o'clock KC North Dakota. I have North Dakota 11.8. And it is 10.5 and 149.5. I'll take the over. Hampton Hofstra CBS Sports Network. I have Hofstra 5.2. And it's 11.5 and 133.5. I'll take Hampton getting the points. Texas State South Alabama. I have South Alabama 3.8. It's 4.5, 136.5. I'll take the over. Arkansas State Louisiana. I have Arkansas State 3.3. And it's 8.5 and 144.5. I'll take Louisiana getting the points. Georgia Southern, Georgia State. I have Southern by 0.8. And it's 1.5, 153.5. I'll go over. Central Arkansas Stetson. I have Central Arkansas by 3. It's 9.5, 149.5. I'll take Stetson getting the 9 in the hook. Tennessee Martin Little Rock. I have Tennessee Martin 0.6. And it's 2.5 and 134.5. I'll take the over. Cal Baptist, Utah Valley. I have Utah Valley by 1. And it's 8.5 and 142.5. I'll take Cal Baptist getting the points. Utah Tech, Texas Arlington. I have Texas Arlington 2.5. And it's 4.5 and 141.5. I'll take Tech getting the points. Southern Utah, Tarleton State. I have Tarleton 5.5. And it is 4.5, 145.5. I'll take the over. 8:30 Alabama A&M, Florida A&M. I have Florida A&M 0.2. And it's Bama A&M 1.5. Total 139.5. I'll take the over. Texas Southern Pine Bluff. My line is Pine Bluff 1.7. And it's 1.5, 151.5. I'll go with the over. Prairie View and Miss Valley State. I have Prairie View 4.75. and it's 9.5, 153.5. I'll take Miss Valley State getting the points. Southern Indiana, Western Illinois. I have Southern Indiana a quarter, and it's 2.5 and 138.5. I'll take Western Illinois plus the points. SIU, Edwardsville, Tennessee Tech. I have Edwardsville 1.6, and it's 1.5, 135.5. I'll take the over. Lindenwood, Tennessee State. I have Tennessee State by 3. And it's 4.5, 162.5. I'll take the under. Moore State, Eastern Illinois. I have Eastern by a quarter. And it's Moorhead 1.5 total, 137.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock, ESPN 2, Tulane, North Texas. I have North Texas. Tulane 0.8. And North Texas is a 6.5 point favorite, totals 136.5. I'll take Tulane plus the points and plus 240 to win the game outright. CSU Northridge, Santa Barbara. My line is Santa Barbara 3.4, and it's 5.5 and 156.5. I'll take CSUN plus the points. South Dakota, Denver. I have Denver 2.9. It's 6.5, 160.5. I'll take South Dakota in the points. Montana State, Weber State. I have Montana State 3/4, and it is Weber State 1.5 total, 148.5. I'm going to go with Montana State plus the points and minus 105 to win. Montana, Idaho State. I have Montana 4.5. And it is 1.5 and 149.5. I'll lay the 1.5 with Montana. ESPNU, Idaho, Portland State. I have Portland State 8.3. It's 3.5, 143.5. I'll lay 3.5 with Portland State. Bakersfield, UC Riverside, 10 o'clock. My line is Riverside 3.3. And it is 6.5, 150.5. I'll take Bakersfield in the points. UC Davis, Fullerton. I have Davis 1.1, and it's Fullerton 1.5 total, 155.5. I'll take Fullerton plus the points and minus 102. Davis plus the points and minus 102 outright. UC Irvine, Long Beach State. I have Irvine 5.8. It's 5.5, 144.5. I'll go over. Eastern Washington, Sac State. I have Sac State by 1, and it's Eastern Washington 2.5 total, 161.5. I'll take Sac State plus 2.5 and plus 120 to win the game outright. And last but not least, Cal Hawaii at midnight. My line's Hawaii 10.7, and it's 11.5 and 161.5. I will take the over. Because we're doing it on looking them on DraftKings because FanDuel doesn't have them all. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over notable results from yesterday and then today so far, and then we will look ahead to tonight and tomorrow. All right, yesterday, Champions League first leg, Newcastle over FK Karabakh 6-1, Bodo Glimt over Inter 3-1, Atletico Madrid Club Brugge 3-3 draw, Bayer Leverkusen over Olympiacos 2-0, EPL, Wolverhampton Arsenal 2-2 draw, La Liga, Villarreal over Levante 1-0, UEFA Women's, Real Madrid over Paris FC 2-1, Real Madrid advances 5-2 on penalties, Arsenal over Howard Heverly 3-1, Arsenal advances 7-1 on aggregate. I meant to say 5-2 on aggregate with Real Madrid, by the way. Serie A, AC Milan, Como 1-1 draw. Commonwealth Libertadores, O'Higgins over Bahia 1-0. Argentinos Juniors over Barcelona SC 1-0. And Nacional Potosi over Botafogo 1-0. Scottish Cup, Aberdeen over Motherwell 2-0. And CONCACAF Champions Cup, the Union over Defense Force FC 5-0. FC Cincinnati over Universidad O&M 4-0. And Cardigans, Vancouver 0-0 draw. So there's a lot of Europa stuff in Conference League going on now. Commonwealth Libertadores tonight. First leg, Juventud and Guarani at 5 o'clock. My pick for this is going to be Juventud at plus 135. Deportivo Tequila and Deportes Tolima. Over 1.5's a no-brainer, right? CONCACAF Champions Cup tonight, 8 o'clock. Sporting San Miguel and LA Galaxy. The Galaxy's minus 165. Sporting San Miguel is 4-1. The draw's 3-1. I give you the Galaxy are that short of a favorite. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 108. La Liga, 3 o'clock. Athletic Club and Elche. Athletic minus 155. Elche plus 460. Draw plus 280. Over 2.5 goals minus 105. German Bundesliga 230. Mainz Hamburg SV. Mainz minus 105. Hamburg plus 290. Draw plus 250. I'm going with Mainz minus 105. 245 Serie A. Sassuolo Verona. Sassuolo minus 140. Verona plus 460. Draw plus 250. We're going to go over 2.5 goals plus 132. French League 1. 245 Brest Marseille. Marseille minus 105. Brest plus 280. Draw plus 260 with Marseille minus 105. ELC 3 o'clock. Blackburn Preston North End. Blackburn plus 105. Preston plus 290. Draw plus 220 with Blackburn plus 105. Dutch Eredivisie. Fortuna Excelsior. Fortuna plus 140. Excelsior plus 185. Draw plus 240. I'm going to go with Fortuna at plus 140. The French Premier League. PSG Lens. PSG's minus 1200 over under 3.5. I'll go with the under 3.5. And then Liga MX will pick those on tomorrow's show. Okay, now move on to the Olympics. We have to talk about what's gone on today, what's still going on today, and then I'll have the pick for the gold medal game on the show as well. All right, some results. Curling, men's. Chelsea over Sweden, 10-4. Switzerland over Italy, 9-5. Germany over China, 6-4. Norway over Canada, 8-6. Ski mountaineering women's sprint final. The bronze going to Ana Alonso Rodriguez of Spain. The silver going to Emily Harrop of France. And the gold going to Marianne Fatten of Switzerland. Nordic combined team sprint cross country. The bronze going to Austria. The silver going to Finland. The gold going to Norway. Ski mountaineering men's sprint final. The bronze going to Thibault Anselment of France. The silver going to Nikita Flipov of what country is this? So, individual neutral athletes. Oh, it's for athletes with Russian and Belarusian passports because both countries are banned from the Olympics. Okay. That makes sense. And the gold going to Oriol Cardona Call of Spain. Women's curling, U.S. over Switzerland 7-6. Korea loses to Canada 10-7. Japan over China 9-6. Great Britain over Italy 7-4. The women's bronze medal game went to overtime. Switzerland beats Sweden 2-1. Switzerland gets the bronze. And going on right now is the gold medal game. It's about to approach overtime. The hockey in both the men's and the women's has been so dramatic and so fun. And the men's 1500 meter speed skating, the bronze going to Kjeld Nuis of the Netherlands, silver Jordan Stoltz of U.S., and the gold going to Zhongyan Ning of China. We talked about the women's gold medal game going to be in OT right now. Women's singles free skating's going on now. Curling's going on right now. Norway, Canada, Great Britain, Switzerland. And then tomorrow, we have the women's freestyle skiing cross finals. The men's aerial finals for freestyle skiing. More curling. Women's semifinals. Canada, Sweden, U.S., Switzerland. Then we have women's speed skating 1500 meter final. We have semifinals. For hockey, for the men's, you have Canada and Finland. Canada minus 430, Finland plus 330, over under 5.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Finland plus 1F is plus 116, Canada minus 1F is minus 142. I'm going to go with over 5.5 at over minus 105. We have men's curling bronze medal game, freestyle skiing men's free ski half pipe final, and then the semifinals in hockey for the men's as well as U.S. Slovakia. That's at 3 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock out there. U.S. is a minus 850 favorite. Slovakia is plus 570, over under 5.5, over minus 140, under plus 114. Slovakia plus 1F is plus 184. U.S. minus 1F is minus 230. I'm tempted to take Slovakia plus the 1.5 only because U.S. almost lost to Sweden. But instead, I'm going to go under 5.5 at plus 114. Short track speed skating, men's 5,000 meter relay final, and then the women's 1,500 final is tomorrow as well. Okay, now move on to golf. We look at the early leaderboard for the current tournament that's going on right now, which is the Genesis Invitational. Your leader right now at the score 3 under is Ashke Bahita. Second, tied with 2 under, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and Ryan Gerard. In fifth right now, with a score of 1 under, Jonathan Vegas, Sammy Valimaki, Matt McCarty, Tom Hogue, Steve Thiglia, Pearson Cootie, Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood, Ryan Fox. At even, 14 under, Rico Hoey, Taylor Pendrith, Bud Cauley, Michael Kim, Matt McNeely, Jacob Bridgman, Victor Hovind, Adam Scott, Patrick Rogers, Max Homa, Denny McCartney, Sam Stevens, Aldrich Pottinger. Tied for 27th with 1 over, Jake Knapp, Nico Echevarria, Matthias Schmid, Ben Griffin, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama, Kevin Yu. Tied for 34th with 2 over, Kurt Katayama, Cam Young, JJ Spawn, Lovey Gaberg. 38th with 3 over, Keegan Bradley. 39th with 4 over, JT Potson. So, that's it for golf. Now move on to on this day. We have to do 2 on this days? No, just 1. Or maybe 0. Oh, we do have on this day. We do have on this day. We had to do 2 yesterday. Okay, so here we go. On this day, February 19th, brought to you by All Sports News. 2019, Padres signed Manny Machado. That was a big deal. He's still on the Padres. 2017, the Pelicans acquired DeMarcus Cousins. And he wasn't on the Pelicans long. Him and Anthony Davis actually played really good together at one point. 2015, Celtics acquire Isaiah Thomas from the Celtics. Or, I'm sorry, from the Suns. 2015, the Heat acquired Gordon Dragic from the Phoenix Suns. 2018, the Red Sox signed J.D. Martinez. That proved to be a huge free agent signing for them. 2016, former Steelers tight end Heath Miller retires. Real name is Earl. 2015, Timberwolves acquire Kevin Garnett. I kind of don't remember him going back to Minnesota. I don't remember that at all. I thought that he just retired after that Nets tenure. Because I remember Pierce went to the Clippers to reunite with Doc Rivers. That's where I thought KG went. I don't know why I thought KG went to the Clippers. I thought he either retired with Brooklyn or went to the Clippers. I didn't even realize he went back to Minnesota. 2024, the Nets fired Jack Vaughn. 2015, the Suns acquired Brandon Knight in a 3-team deal. 2014, Boston College upsets #1 Syracuse. Oh boy, the Boeheim thing's coming up that I brought up a few weeks ago on the show. 2015, the Pistons acquire Reggie Jackson. And in 2014, Homer Bailey signs a 6-year, $105 million extension with the Cincinnati Reds, which was a really bad contract for that team. So there you have it for On This Day. Now I'll move on to the news and notes. So we'll monitor U.S. Canada as we go. Jazz Chisholm of the Yankees is so selfish and so out of his mind and thinks he's hot shit. He has eyes on Shohei Ohtani's 50 home run, 50 stolen base record. Like, that's absurd. I think Aaron Judge can do that, but Aaron Judge is a smart player and doesn't want to get injured stealing a base. But yeah, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, here's another thing with Jazz Chisholm. He doesn't expect the trade, as he does understand the Yankees will listen to offers entering the final year of his deal. So if the Yankees are not good, say if they have a year kind of like they did in 2016 and trade everybody away, and you know if Jazz has a good year and the team's bad, you know they're gonna get something good back. Because I feel like baseball is the sport where most teams overpay in a trade. Although some may argue the NBA. And obviously the team or the sport that I think you get the least back in a trade is the NFL. And in the NFL, you see great players get released all the time. If Kenny Malkin, the Penguins, to talk about a contract as they're expected to discuss a new contract before Olympic break ends. Myles Garrett had a poem for his girlfriend Chloe Kim, and Chloe Kim admits that she cried hearing it for the first time. There's a picture of Tom Brady's $150 million Miami mansion released on the internet. The 49ers have a the 49ers will have a lot of travel this season, which could a lot of people are gonna use that against them, picking against them for the season, I would think. We talked about Stoltz getting the silver. Yeah, Hillary Knight got the tying goal, the forced overtime in women's. And they had a 352-minute and 17-second shutout streak. And Canada obviously broke that. So, the Bears came out with a statement that they might move to Indiana in an indoor dome in western Indiana, which is crazy. Like, this is the Chicago Bears. What are they going to be? The Indiana Bears? I think the Bears have to stay in Chicago. Joel Embiid wants a healthy playoff. Says his trainer says Joel would trade MVP award for solid postseason run. Steph Curry's out tonight. We talked about that already. John Morant to miss 2 more weeks with a elbow injury. Darren Peterson subbed out of the game last night for Kansas. Bill Self called it disappointing. I agree with Bill Self. Like, Darren Peterson's just, let's be honest, he's being selfish. And this has been a thing going all year long. And there's been so many excuses for him left and right. I'm not saying he's been playing bad. As U.S. just wins the gold medal. The goal that Canada just let up there. Not cool. But yeah, U.S. just won the gold. Awesome way for Hillary Knight's career to go out. Well deserved, ladies. But yeah, back to the podcast. So Darren Peterson, like I said, I just think he's being a little selfish. And then Corbin Carroll's eyeing an opening day return from the hand injury. Bruce Meyer got elected as the interim leader. As executive director, will continue to lead the CBA negotiations. An executive said that a lockout is all but guaranteed. Everybody is saying that. I think it's likely too, but I still think we're going to have a 2028 season. Like, they always come through. We had NBA in 2011, that came through. We had baseball a couple years ago, that came through. Hockey, that came through, but it might have been COVID related. And then Junior Caminero says he loves Tampa as he wants to extend an extension, but ultimately is not his decision. All right, so there you have it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. It might end up being DraftKings if FanDuel doesn't have the pick I want. I think it's sick that I just called the gold medal on my show here as Keller scores the game winner. So, yeah, good for Megan Keller. So the game I want to pick for best bet tonight is not on the board on FanDuel. Or yeah, it is. For some reason, I just couldn't find it. But like I said, I don't understand why this team was that big of an underdog. to begin with. But I might go with a different team instead. I'm thinking Big West or Big Sky for best bet. So in consideration, Northridge getting the points. For some reason I can't. Up there it is. Northridge getting 4.5. Portland State minus 3.5. I also like as well. It's either going to be that or that. So sorry I'm taking so long. Portland State's a 9 o'clock game on ESPNU. Yeah, I think that's a safer bet. They're home, 11-2 in conference play. I'm gonna go Portland State minus 3.5 at home against Idaho for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, look at everything tomorrow. Definitely want to record early tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day.